Hello, Barry Schooler. Can you tell me about what you do and how you do it? What qualifies you to do what you do?
Thank you, Frank. So I'm Barry Schooler with VR Business Brokers, Mergers and Acquisitions. I'm a deal maker by nature. We help business owners, presidents, CEOs of companies in the US, typically when they're going through a transition. So it could be a life-changing event like retirement, relocation. Sometimes they have a health issue, sometimes a partnership dispute, or they simply want to cash out. And typically the reason we get hired is because first they're confused about the potential value of their business. They're worried that they're leaving money on the table, or they may be over asking. They're frustrated because they have not set up an exit plan, and they're worried that their key employees will find out about the sale and potentially leave them. So that's when a business broker or an M&A advisor comes in and helps them, holds their hand throughout the process. We are business brokers, have been doing it over 40 years. We have a proven system that helps them throughout the sale, all the way until a successful closing.
When would you suggest I, as a business owner, reach out to contact you?
So typically we recommend that you don't wait until the last second because we need to get organized. So I would say plan ahead at least 6 months to a year, so we can start putting things together. There's a lot of moving parts. It's not easy. It's a life-changing event. It needs to be handled correctly. So don't wait until the last second, and work with an advisor that has done this before to make sure that things go seamless.
And how much time from the initial conversation to the time the business is sold does it take?
After the business hits the market, which there's going to be some time that we need to prepare for that, putting the listing package together, the prospectus, information memorandum together, which is a confidential document, and also put it on all the available sites for advertising. After that happens, typically it's a 6 to 8 months process, but it's a team effort. So depending on how fast we can work with your team of advisors, who are your CPAs, your attorneys, your bankers, sometimes your spouse or your partner. Typically on average it takes 6 to 8 months. Now, we have sold listings, we have sold businesses in the first 30 days, and sometimes we did not succeed. There's a lot of things that happen in between. It's sometimes out of our control, but I'm giving you the industry averages.
And how much is this going to cost me?
That's a great question. That all depends on the size and the scope and how much work we have to do. On average, I can tell you that in the business brokerage industry, their brokers get paid between 10 and 15%. The larger the deal, the smaller the percentage. What I mean by that is most of the time offices use what's called a Lehman scale formula, which is a scale that's declining 2% in every million. So what that means, if you have a $5 million business, the first million is going to get treated on the highest scale, and the last million is going to get treated on the lower scale. And then there's an average in between.
So, Mr. Guler, you seem very knowledgeable. What are your credentials that allows you to do your job? Can you help me understand?
Yeah, I can try, because there's a lot of things. I may forget certain things, but I'll definitely explain. So I've been a deal maker since 2004. I call myself a deal maker because, deal making is helping people make deals. So now I'm doing it in the business brokerage world, which in the last 8 years, I owned a business broker franchise called VR Business Brokers, and I owned a Boca office. So 8 years I've been doing that, but in 2004, I started as a deal maker, as a financial advisor, wealth manager for Merrill Lynch, which I helped clients manage their money. And sometimes I help them get into certain investments. Sometimes they're real estate investment trusts, sometimes private equity funds, sometimes mutual funds. So I was knowledgeable in different industries from day one, which I studied international law, finance, tax, estate planning, money management, and also business management. Okay, I worked in big institutions, some Eastern European banks, as in management. I actually had my own consulting firm, which I help big corporations with business development, strategic planning, managing their finances as well. Then I'm also a business owner by nature, so I understand what it takes to be a business owner, the sweat and tears that comes with it, what it takes to manage a business and provide for their families. I currently own 4 businesses my own, but this is the only one I manage and run 100% on a day-to-day level, the business brokerage side of things. The other ones are more board members or investors. So I bought and sold businesses myself. I successfully helped a lot of clients sell their businesses and buy businesses in the US. I hold different types of certifications that not all brokers have, which differentiate me, helps me provide more valuable services to my clients. I hold a master's degree from San Diego State University, my bachelor's in international relations. My certifications are Certified Business Intermediary, which is like a CPA of accountants. So there's accountants and CPAs. So CBIs, which are Certified Business Intermediaries, are the CPAs of business brokers. So I'm a CBI. I'm also a Mergers and Acquisition Master Intermediary. I'm a Certified Mergers and Acquisition Professional. I'm also a Certified Business Appraiser. So what that means is I can do appraisal reports for banks or even the courts, which less than 1% of business brokers are. But I enjoy what I do. Nature, I enjoy helping people transition to the next phase of their lives, whether it's selling a business and having the leisure to spend time with their family and being able to afford retirement, or helping a business owner come in and buy a business, and now they live in the American dream, owning the business. They may have relocated from another city, state, or even out of the country, and they may be willing to buy a business for a visa. We help many people in that sense as well. We're multilingual, born and raised in Turkey. I've been in the U.S. 16 years, 8 of them in San Diego, California, 8 of them in Boca Raton, Florida. We have multilingual team members. We have Eduardo Sosa, he's from Venezuela, he speaks Spanish. We have another lady starting that knows Russian and Urdu. Urdu is spoken in Indian and Pakistani countries. We obviously have Turkish speakers and English speakers. So we have some foreign clients as well.
Now, you mentioned the name of your company is VR. What does that stand for? And is it just you, or you mentioned a couple of other people on your staff? Are you international? Or are you just in Boca Raton?
So VR stands for Valued Representation. VR has been founded in 1979, so more than 40 years, and is owned by Peter King and Joan Lombardi. They're both Canadian immigrants that came to the U.S. to live the American dream. They own the franchise with over 70 locations globally. I own the Boca office. We have 9 active team members. With one of them, Frank Filer. He's been a veteran. He used to serve our U.S. Air Force. He's been a broker for over 35 years. He's our mentor. He's our brother. He helps us, when we make mistakes. He tells us the right path. He puts us on the right path. He helps me with hiring, training, firing if needed, and also helps me with my sales processes. He's been very helpful throughout this process, and I want to thank him for all that. I'm very grateful to have a team like that. We have Eduardo Sosa, who's been a business broker over 20 years. He helped a lot of clients in different industries, very knowledgeable expert. We have Greg Fuchs. He's been a broker almost 10 years now. He used to be in the financial world as a financial analyst. He worked in big corporations. We have Tom Dewar, who's is a success story. He started as an admin in this office, became a marketing manager, became a producing business broker, and is very successful young talent. I see a lot of future in him. We have Hakan, who's also a new starter. He helps us with our marketing. He's a director of marketing. So we're always looking to grow our team because people are the differentiator in any successful business. So we take pride in our team, and the value we bring to the table is our team.
So you mentioned you had over 70 offices.
Correct.
And how do you interact with those other offices? Are you one company or are you franchise?
So all of them are different franchisees, but because we're part of the same network, we help each other and we co-broke with each other, meaning if they have a client, for example, in California that's looking to relocate to Florida, that broker in California notifies us, and we of course take care of our client that's relocating here. And the same thing, if we have a client here that's looking to relocate to California, we call the owner in California and say, we have a client moving, they're looking to buy a business, and they help in that regards. So we actually match our clients within our franchise network.
So if I'm thinking about selling my business and I call business brokers from the yellow pages, or if I Google business brokers, how would I be able to know which is the best broker for me to hire to sell my business?
So first off, let me start saying that business brokerage is a licensed activity, licensed, regulated industry in the state of Florida, okay? Because not all states regulate business brokers. There's only 17 states that actually regulate business brokers. Florida happens to be one of them. California is another, for example, but New York is not a licensed state. So anybody in New York can broker a business and get paid. Doesn't mean that they're gonna do a good job, but it is what it is. So when it comes with regulation, that means people can actually go online to myfloridalicense.com and look up anybody that's licensed, meaning a licensed business broker, if they're licensed, can be seen on myfloridalicense.com. If you look at search for a license and you put in their name, and what you really want to look for in any type of license holder is if they have any complaints against them. So if you go to myfloridalicense.com and you look for that business broker, put in their last name, their first name. If they're licensed, it will show up there. By the way, they may not be licensed and trying to do business broker activity, which is a third-degree misdemeanor in the state of Florida. It's either $5,000 and up to 6 months in jail. So I don't recommend anybody doing that. But if they're licensed, it will show up on myfloridalicense.com. The clients should be looking if they have any complaints against them, and hopefully they don't, and they can work with them. But while they're considering to work with them, they should be asking them some questions. The questions are obviously how long they've been doing this, if they have owned a business themselves before, but mainly how many businesses they sell a year. The reason they want to ask that is because it's going to have a follow-up question to understand if that broker is a right fit for the subject business that business owner owns. For example, if they own a multi-million-dollar manufacturing business and they're looking for a broker and they're talking with a broker that is selling 50 businesses a year, and the next question is, what are the sizes, the average sizes of those businesses? And the answer is less than 100 grand, which is, a very successful business broker selling 50 businesses a year, a very hardworking guy, obviously, or gal, but they're not selling multi-million-dollar deals, and they may not have sold manufacturing deals in the past. So you want to know if your broker is focusing on your industry and if they have any success in that field and what the sizes were, and even ask for referrals, which are testimonials of past clients, and you may want to call them up and ask what their relationship experience with them was. So find a broker that matches the industry. And the second thing, you may want to ask them what their qualifications and licenses and certifications are. If you find one that is going through the phases of getting extra certifications, that means they're not only investing in their businesses, but they're in the highest scale in their field, and they're more knowledgeable in what they do, and they can help you better. So those are some of the questions you want to ask them.